Hello everyone, that's me. My name is Jeannie Parker Beard. I'm an instructor of English at Dalton State College in Dalton, Georgia. I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it there physically this weekend, but I am excited that I can virtually be here to present to you some information on using student-produced multimedia texts in the composition classroom. Just so you know, I am using iMovie, a software program on Macintosh, my Macintosh computer, to make this presentation, and I have converted a PowerPoint presentation into movie format in order to make this presentation work. So if you are interested in how I did that, or interested in any of the things that I discussed, please feel free to contact me and let me know any questions or comments that you have. So I now work at Dalton State College. I just started there in January. So the work that I'll be discussing is work that I did at Kennesaw State University with my first year composition courses there. I worked there for 3 years before I came over to Dalton State. So we're still in the process of starting this up at Dalton State. I haven't had any student-produced documentaries there yet, but I plan to do that this semester. So just as an overview, I will be talking about the need for student-produced new media texts. I'll be discussing some theory and practice behind that idea, looking at some of the challenges of opening the classroom to new media texts, the formulas for success and making this work, and some of the possibilities that I see that are really beneficial to the students in allowing them to produce their own multimedia texts. This is a work in progress. I've been doing it for a few years now, and every semester my students surprise me and delight me with the results and the products that they come up with. This is a quote from Jay Bolter, an expert in new media studies, and he has this to say about new media as student text. If business and technical communication is increasingly electronic, then one must teach students to use the new digital tools available for writing. And this is a philosophy I definitely subscribe to. I believe that students need to be pushed beyond print literacy in our digital age, and I also think giving them an opportunity to produce multimedia texts engages them with the text of our times. They are very excited about that prospect of creating their own multimedia text. I like the idea of letting them apply their rhetorical skills that they learn in their composition course to electronic media. And it also allows them to be educated consumers and producers of electronic and digital media. When it comes to applying theory to practice, here you see some of the big names of compositionists who are incorporating multimedia into their composition classrooms. The first quote, Anne Wysocki, she says, "It is impossible to pretend the lives of the people coming to school have not been shaped by texts that don't look or function like academic essays. New media needs to be open to writing." And I also really agree with her that it's time to move beyond the academic essay. Not that students don't need to know how to write academically, but it's a good idea to give them an opportunity to go beyond that type of writing. The other two articles listed here are from contributors to the online journal Kairos, which is a great resource, and I have provided all of their information on the handout that you should have. And I definitely recommend checking them out if you are interested in using multimedia texts in your composition classroom. Here is another great quote from Jay Bolter. "Among humanists, it is teachers of writing who are actively seeking to close this gap between theory and practice." So we are the ones who can integrate new technologies, new media studies into the writing process and allow our students to grow and develop their skills not only as writers but as producers of multimedia texts. Jay Bolter has some great material out there that you can look at for advice on how to integrate new media into your classroom. So it's important to recognize the multiplicities of literacy. You know, we're beyond just print and alphabetical literacy, and allow students to succeed in new modes of literacy, in digital literacy and multimedia. We need to understand the difference between visual and verbal text and recognize design strategies to let students go from the page to the screen. And most importantly, we need to establish the rhetorical foundations that create good writers, but also those good rhetorical skills transfer to multimedia texts. So there are some challenges to allowing students to create their own documentaries, their own videos. Some people ask, do I have to know how to do it myself? And certainly I would say no. Students are very adaptive to the technology, and a lot of them know how to do it already, but they do adapt very well. There's also the issue of if you don't have a plan, sometimes things don't go like you expected, and I definitely ran into that the first time I tried to do this. I had a student produce a documentary on foosball, which is table soccer, which does not translate very well to the big screen, and I realized quickly that I had to kind of revamp my ideas and really structure the assignment better so that the students could succeed with the assignment. So I have provided for you on the handout the proposal argument assignment that I give my students that allows them to structure their documentaries in the form of a proposal where they identify a problem locally, statewide problem, a national problem, even a global problem, and then they offer viable solutions. In other words, solutions that we can do as students and as part of the community, as faculty members, how we can solve problems that are local or even on a global scale. And you'll see an example of this in the documentary Journey to the Drought. So some of the issues that I think you might want to discuss would be issues of access to technology in the classroom and outside the classroom. I've not had much luck with multimedia labs working with my freshmen. They're very reluctant to loan out their equipment. Also, how do we make multimedia texts valuable as scholarly texts? How much time would we spend teaching the technology and the software to our students, even if we're not that comfortable with it ourselves? And also the issue of copyright and fair use, because students like to use their favorite songs and they like to use video clips from movies and television shows. So that's something that you would have to address also in doing this project. There are many possibilities. My students always surprise me. They always impress me. This is a way that they can apply their rhetorical skills that they've learned to new media text and transfer their writing to a new medium. They can use this as an opportunity to show their work to an actual audience, and they become more critical producers and consumers of digital media by doing this. And they also have a chance to propose change to solve a problem that they care about. The thing that we need to do is make sure you lay a foundation for them. Make sure you give them opportunity to come up with ideas. Give them the opportunity to discover problems that they want to find solutions for. Give them clear process-oriented objectives, and make sure they know how you're going to assess them. Give them those guidelines. And above all else, just keep a good sense of humor and know that things aren't always going to go as planned, but it is well worth it to give this a try and let your students surprise you. And that's pretty much all I have to say, I hope you'll enjoy the video, Our Journey to the Drought, and please contact me with any questions.